Here's what men don't understand about equality. You think equality means splitting the bill. Women live in a society where equality has never existed in the first place. Women still only make 80% of what a man makes for the same full-time job. So when you ask for a 50-50 date, know that her 50% costs more of her income than it does yours. Second of all, women pay more just to exist in the dating world, about $400 a month just on grooming and beauty. And that's not because they want to spend more, it's because they're held to the beauty standards that men built and judge them by. Not only that, women carry safety risk too. They are 2 to 3 times more likely to experience violence from a date. Men love to talk about equality, but not the part where you have to send your locations to your friends and carry safety weapons in your purse just to go to dinner with you. Here's the irony. Men only remember the word equality when it benefits them financially. Not when it comes to wages, not when it comes to safety, not when it comes to emotional workload, not when it comes to the cost of beauty, not when it comes to the social scrutiny women face on a daily basis, but suddenly you want equality when the bill hits the table. Equality isn't identical treatment. Equality is balanced responsibility. And until society becomes statistically equal, you cannot cherry pick equality only in moments where it allows you to contribute less. So yes, my husband pays all the bills, and yes, I think that's the bare minimum.
There is something deeply poetic about a billionaire Nepo baby using her platform to convince her audience of mostly working class women that working class men who make a median wage of $70,000 a year in the United States should foot the entire bill of the relationship. There are 4 reasons why Becca Bloom is wrong, and the first is that Becca doesn't care about equity or equality. The only E Becca cares about is entitlement. The math simply doesn't math. Let me grant to Becca for a second that for every dollar a man makes in the United States, a woman makes 80 cents. This would not justify a 100-0 split skewed towards the man. This would justify a split that is rated to the inequality that's caused by this gender split, meaning that under the definition of equity, for every dollar of the bill that the man foots, the woman would foot 80 cents. Now, reason number 3 has to do with statistics. The reason why it's reason number 3 and not number 1, even though it's the most important reason to consider, is because statistical literacy is dying. Most people who have this conversation on the gender wage gap, Becca Bloom included, have no idea what the difference between correlation and causation is. And this is despite the fact that if you take an introductory level statistics class in high school or in college, the first thing you'll learn is this core distinction. Just because for every dollar a man makes, a woman makes 80 cents, doesn't mean that gender specifically is the reason why that 20-cent schism exists. Which is why when you control for external variables like occupation, years of experience, years of education, you see this gap drastically reduce. In one study, it was from 17 cents to just 1. As a quick aside, this logic of raw, uncontrolled disparities being an example of discrimination is only ever used with respect to the gender wage gap. But when you talk about the fact that home ownership is now higher among young women than young men, or the fact that women are now outpacing men in education from bachelor's degrees to JDs to MDs, all of a sudden, that's no longer discrimination. That's just individual people. I mentioned it in a previous video and I'll mention it again. The cognitive dissonance is palpable. And even then, gender is not necessarily the reason why this 1 cent difference exists. It could be for a myriad of other factors that weren't controlled. At the end of the day, people are responsible for their own decisions, which is why if you go into a profession like teaching, which pays less, you're doing so knowing that it pays you less. In the same vein that a man going into a profession like construction knows that this is a more dangerous job and therefore there's a higher risk to their life in doing so. Which is why, despite the fact that men go into more dangerous professions more often, you don't hear myself or other men scream from the rooftops that this is some magical reason for us to be compensated more in relationships. Which brings me to point number 4. Becca's entire argument relies on this false premise that individual people in relationships are responsible for remediating issues that exist at systemic and societal levels. A relationship is not a personal affirmative action plan. It's a partnership. And individual people's struggles are not always defined by generalities that exist in society. And frankly, just putting these 4 arguments aside for a second, I want you to take Becca Bloom's worldview to its endpoint. A world where only the men who are capable of sustaining a family on a single income is not a world that can exist any longer. Right? The dollar doesn't go as far as it used to 50 years ago, 20 years ago. It's simply not possible anymore. The reason why people like Becca Bloom, Shara Seven, The Wizard List, the reason why they push this provider mentality, masculine energy onto young women is because they know that their idea is a systemic impossibility. They fundamentally profit off of having a base of women who are dissatisfied with the relationships that they have, which is why they constantly shift the goalposts of what it means for a man to be the bare minimum. And it's even more sinister when it comes to people like Becca Bloom who are literal oligarchs because they directly benefit from the idea of having fragmented family units who are unable to have productive lives for themselves and retain capital for their own prosperity.
Not guilty. All charges have been dropped. James, man to man, I'm sorry you had to go through this and that your personal and professional lives have been ruined as a result of her false allegations. And as for you, no, bad. That's very bad. Don't do that again, okay? Okay. Alright, case dismissed. Wait. Yes? Bad? Yes, what she did was bad. Very bad, and she won't do it again, right? Right. What she did should be a felony. Why is she not being punished? Did you not just hear me tell her no? That's not punishment. I want her to be punished. Do you want me to say it again? No, she should suffer like I've suffered. Her lives have caused me to lose my job, my family, my house. The whole world now sees me as a woman. It's not true. We just found you innocent. It doesn't matter what the court ruled. The damage has already been done. Even though I never once lifted my finger at a woman, the whole world will forever see me as a monster. No, they won't. Yes, they will. No, they won't. She deserves to be punished, more than just a slap on the wrist. I bet you like that, wouldn't you, woman? See?
You'd think it be common sense that a false accuser would receive the same punishment that the innocent person they accused of doing something they didn't would have received. But as we know, common sense isn't very common in the biased judicial system, especially in family courts.
It's like job hopping. You know, you start off with a job that's 40,000, you job hop to a job that's 80,000, you job hop to a job that's 200,000, right? Because what? You're gaining experience, knowledge, and learning how to move on. When you say, oh no, he's cheating on me for the 85th time, but I think I should, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time between.
So apparently, if one of my friends comes up to me and says I cheated on my man, I'm gonna be like, what happened? Like, I'm gonna want to know the tea. I'm gonna be like, is everything okay? Like, what happened? Like, I'm gonna come to her, as a friend, like, what happened? But after, I'm gonna just be like, girl, you know you was dead wrong for that. And she's gonna be like, yeah. And I'm gonna be like, yeah. Anyway, you wanna go to Cheesecake Factory? Like,
and I could never settle in life because I watch my mom get treated like a princess 24/7. I watch her get her every Saturday cake and champagne delivered to her bed. I watch her get her flowers every week. I watch her never have to cook. I watch her go on weekly date nights. Why would I ever settle? Why?
if you're not willing to take a burden off of my shoulder, what are you in my life for? A man that doesn't lighten up my load can never be my man. Life is already a lot as it is. I gotta pay bills every month, take care of my mom, almost turning 30. It's just so much going on. So as a woman, if you're not willing to take a burden off of my shoulder, what are you in my life for? I just don't see how women settle for men that are not adding anything to them. Because as a woman, you are so powerful, you are so creative, you're influential, you are literally the only being of your kind. You are a woman and a man mixed together. So you're telling me that all of that beautiful divine energy you're wasting it on somebody who can't even pay your bills, who's asking you what you bring to the table? I just want us in 2025 and moving forward as women to start being selfish with our energy.
I want a woman that's gonna be with me when the times are tough. I will leave you. I'll leave you. I will. Literally, the minute it feels tough, I'm leaving. And you know why? You know why? Because that same man that's saying it, you know why he's gonna leave you? Because you're gonna gain weight after birthing his baby. Or maybe you're gonna be diagnosed with some type of illness that he finds is crippling for him to care for you.
Gotta pay me to even leave my house, okay? I'm not leaving my house without a Cash App, a Zelle, Venmo. I accept all forms, okay? Before I even waste my $60 foundation, Cash App. Before I even put on my outfits, my dress, my heels, Zelle. Before I even turn my doorknob to walk out of the door, Venmo. Gotta pay me.
I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not sucking, I'm not washing clothes and folding drawers and putting them in drawers. I'm not doing none of that shit. Unless he buys me my house in the hills overlooking the ocean in Malibu.
They pride themselves in doing absolutely nothing for you. But you better pay all their bills, send them all your money, and be their financial slave if you want to date them. Nobody is going to sign up for that, which is why they're in their 30s still crying on the internet because they can't find a man that will.
He has invested into assets in my trust fund. I am written into his will. I'm not. I asked for y'all allowance this week. Did y'all text y'all phone for y'all allowance? The ones, you know, who do the best they can, asking for 500. The ones who got it like that, asking for 1,000. The ones who really got it like that, 5,000. Remember? Close.
Men be so mad when we talk about using them for their money, yet they use us for our bodies every day, all the time. Get over it and run me my money.
Every day, they attempt to rebrand streetwalking. They go out of their way to solely engage in transactional relationships, which is just rebranded streetwalking, and then complain because it's transactional. Creating their own problem and then complaining about it seems to be their specialty.
I would never get on this app talking about we are the men who like ugly girls. Betty, the men are the ugly girls. What are you talking about? I would never get on.
If a man say something to you like, well, what you gonna do for me? What do I get? Tell him to go find him a man. Look.
Bro, as a male nurse, bro, working in the healthcare field, bro, I promise you, that you see is crazy. The amount of people that's sleeping with each other here is ridiculous. Everybody here is sleeping with each other. Everybody, right? And you know what the worst part is? Half these people are married. It's the married men and female on go. Everybody. Married people sleeping with the married people sleeping with the patients, married people sleeping with the single people. Everybody's doing it, bro. And it's weird to me. But the worst part is the married people actually has a whole community about it. This is the thing. They know about each other. They talk about it. and they still want to go. And I'm like, bro, I actually just heard this girl support her like friend, like, oh, there's nothing wrong with sleeping with that girl, her husband, because, you know what I'm saying, as long as he take care of you and your responsibility, that ain't your problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, now how would you feel if that was you? And I'm like, bro, females are savages. And I'm like, they really don't give a. Now, I think, you know what I'm saying, y'all cheat, y'all dirty, that's nasty. These girls already knew that. But it's weird to see like girls actually partaking in, and it's like, if you look, like, girls really do support some stuff and they just don't talk about it. They just keep everything on the hush hush.
So what's your sign?
So I'm looking for someone who is also financially stable and that has to work a 9 to 5 every day to live their life.
You have to have at least 3 cars under your name. Your second car has to have 8 seats because I have 3 kids. Oh, I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you? I'm gonna bring my kids, and you need to have enough space for my kids. So
just my finances.
Protect your peace and protect your wallets. Never entertain entitlement or problematic behaviors for your own sake. If you have enjoyed the video this far and want to see more like it in the future, I would greatly appreciate it if you liked the video. Thank you.
Please forgive me if I sound heated during this video. I am. I met a girl on a dating app maybe about 2 months ago, and we've been talking pretty consistently since. About a month ago, we planned a date, and up until the day of the date, everything was fine, but then she said she was feeling really sick, and we didn't go through with it. But she seemed really honest about it, and we just kept going, kept talking, and there was no big red flag. It's just she was sick, and it didn't work out. Okay. About 5 days ago on Monday, I asked her, hey, I found out if I get off a little early on Friday. Do you want to maybe go on a date? She sent yes with 4 S's and an exclamation mark, and I was like, okay, perfect. I'm gonna plan something and let me get back to you. She sends me a snap video in return like, awesome, this sounds great, perfect. Like, very real conversation with this person. It's not just like some stranger on the internet. All the girls who are hating on me for my coffee date video, you're gonna love me for this one. I got a reservation at one of my favorite restaurants in Salt Lake City, a pub and grill. It is amazing. I was really excited to take her. I checked with her on Tuesday of this week, said, does that work? How about 6:30? She's like, 6:30 works great. I'm like, perfect. I'm gonna get off work at 4, go shower at the gym so I don't have to drive all the way back home, then drive up another hour from where I live to pick you up for the date, which I'm totally happy to do. I'm excited for the date. Yesterday, I sent her the paragraph, the details. I tell her, I got a reservation for us at my favorite restaurant. I'm so excited to take you. I'm gonna drive up to your house and I'll be there at 6:30 to pick you up. Told her, wear whatever you want, but maybe dress a little warmer because it's gonna be a little cold outside. And finally, I told her, after dinner, if we have time, let's go play mini golf. I didn't want to make it as a for sure thing because I don't know how long it's going to take. She does not live very close to the restaurant or close to me. After communicating with this girl for over 2 months and planning a date, I got work off early for this, okay? I planned it. We've been talking. It wasn't like any red flags or anything weird. I sent her the plan for the date and just radio silence. Nothing. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? This is yesterday around 3 p.m. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I'm being patient too. I said around 8 o'clock. Does that work? Nothing. And finally I'm like, you know what? Maybe she's working late. I'm gonna wait till midnight. I sent her a text at midnight and I was like, look, I would love to go with you. Please let me know before work tomorrow if you can go or not. So I know to pack my stuff and I know how to schedule my whole day. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I wake up the next morning. At this point, I reached out to her on Snapchat. I said, hey, I don't know if you've been seeing my messages. Please let me know if you can do this. The worst part of it all is that she was active on Snapchat. I could see she was active on Snapchat. I mean, not to be a spy, but her snap score was shooting up. And I'm sitting here like, what is going on right now? Finally this morning, I just sent a voice message. I was like, look, go, don't go. I just need you to let me know. And at this point, it would have been really nice of you to let me know earlier in the week. We've been playing this date all week. You've been very cooperative and excited, and I have been too. At the very least, I don't even care if you ghost me. Ghost me before this. Let me know that you can't go on the date. Do not waste my time and then just silently bail. And I said, seriously, this is not cool of you. Why couldn't you at least let me know? I get back 20 minutes later and she unadded me. No explanation. And that's the last I've heard from her. That was earlier this morning. So you're talking to someone on a dating app or online, they're real people. They're very real people. I'm real. And I was very excited. I am so fed up with the current dating right now.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Douglas?
This is Douglas.
Hey, Doug. This is Jubal from Brick and Jubal in the Morning. How are you?
My name's Douglas. Who's this?
This is Jubal from Brook and Jubal in the Morning.
Okay, who are you?
I host a radio show called Brook and Jubal in the Morning. My name is Jubal.
What do you need from me?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about a friend of ours who you know.
Okay.
Okay. You're a pretty quick and to the point guy, aren't you, Douglas?
Yes, I am. Why are you calling me?
Good question.
So, you went out with a girl named Jessie recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like Jessie?
What business is that of yours?
Well, it's our business because she emailed us to see if we could talk to you and find out if you didn't like her.
I didn't hate her.
Whoa.
I just didn't feel it working.
Okay. Can you tell us why?
I don't feel we're at the same places in our lives, and it's just as far as personalities, temperaments, and patience goes, it's just not what I'm looking for in someone to date. Sorry.
Is it because you have a kid and she doesn't?
How do you know that?
Well, she told us a little bit about your date and said she thinks that's the reason you don't want to go out with her again.
It's just like the millennials, so you can't deal with it yourself.
Wait, what? You just like put down a whole generation of people there?
Well, I'm not saying that every millennial is one of those things and behaves that way, but when I see a duck, I call it a duck.
Good way to be. So you thought she was a millennial duck?
Well, after having to listen to a 5-minute tirade that someone didn't tag her in a Facebook post, yeah, kind of.
What? Okay, wait. I want to know about the tirade, but I'm really curious. Are you a 65-year-old man?
I'm a 30-year-old man with 2 kids, with sole custody. I got a lot to do.
Okay.
I'm very busy. I just don't have time to screw around anymore.
Okay. And by her complaining about a Facebook post, you think she has time to screw around and you don't?
It's not just that. She's complaining that, I work a 10 to 8 or a 10 to 5 job, and I only got 8 hours of sleep last night, and her friends aren't tagging her in Facebook posts, and it's just, I don't think she's a bad person. I just don't have time for that.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you're a single parent of 2
I'm in a
kids.
different place in my life. I'm sorry.
What? I mean, why didn't you just tell her that, though?
Well, I didn't want to come down on her as like, you're an idiot, and I don't want to have anything else to do with you. I mean, we're already there on the date, and I don't think that. It's just like I said, we're just in different places in our lives.
Right.
We want different things. Maybe in a few years she might feel differently, but right now I don't have the time to do it.
So in your mind, it's just finish the date up, give her a kiss on the cheek, send her on her way, and you can get back to doing business.
Look, it's not doing business. It's called life. I'm actively participating in it, and I just got to get it done. I don't have time for the BS.
But, I mean, here's the thing with that. Like, I get that you have a lot on your plate right now, but you can't fault her for not having the same amount.
If you enjoyed this video, I promise you will love this next video. I will see you there.